Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello, welcome to Love Your Body, Love Your Life. My name is Jenna. I am the host of this show, and I'm also the author of the book titled Love Your Body, Love Your Life, 52 Tips That Will Radically Change Your Health. You can find my book on Amazon and on barnesandnoble.com. And I'm excited to be live again today, you guys. I took last week off, and the week prior to that, I had a guest on. So I haven't done a solo episode in a couple weeks, but I think this is like my 5th or 6th solo episode, which is new for me because I've been doing the show. Well, actually, I've been doing the show since like 2019. But I was just on radio, and then it turned into this kind of video situation. And for a good year, I just had guests on. So this new solo stuff is really new for me. So I'm going to try to give you guys the best I have as far as content whenever I do come on solo by myself. But I've been starting these episodes with personal stories. So I figured I would just stick with that and share a personal story to start. And then we'll get into more of the topic that I picked for today. And by the way, you guys, I am totally open to discuss what you guys want to talk about, anything health related, wellness, beauty, that kind of thing. So anyways, I just want to plug that in. If you guys ever want to get a hold of me, I'm on Instagram, easily found, Jenna Lobos. So just want to plug that in really quick. But anyways, so I was not live last week because I took the week off because I actually had to attend a celebration of life, which was obviously really sad. Somebody very significant on my dad's side of the family passed, and near and dear to our hearts. And so I obviously wasn't live on the show and was in with my family, for the pretty much the weekend, and all day Friday. So I took Thursday off. And the reason why I share that, I know it's kind of heavy, but I share that because whenever there's something that happens like that, just to you personally, and you experience somebody passing, it really puts things in perspective, right? I always feel like time kind of stops, and nothing else really matters. Like all the little stuff, the insignificant stuff of life, just they don't really matter, when you hear of something like that, or when you're actually going through something like that. This happened to me as well during COVID in 2020. I lost a half sister. She was 44 years old. And it was a shock. She had 2 kids, 2 younger kids, which they're my niece and nephew now. They were, I think, like 5 and 6 at the time. And she didn't wake up, and we think she took something, we can't prove it, but I think that's what happened to her. And I don't know mentally what was going on with her, but thank you, Lester. Thank you for the condolences. So my point is that it just really puts things in perspective when we lose somebody near and dear, and it makes you realize like our time is very precious here, and we really don't know, how long we have here. So I feel like I just wanted to kind of bring up the question of, what are you doing with your time here? And are you happy with what you're doing with your time here? Kind of thing. And is there any dreams and desires in your heart that you feel like you still need to accomplish, or you want to just experience in life? Just have an experience of something that's been on, we call it the bucket list, but like truly, like, what's in your heart of hearts? And I feel like I just kind of wanted to start off the conversation like that, because in order for us to do something that's in our heart of hearts, I feel like I'm really a big believer in the inner work, because like for me, for example, I've had to do a lot of inner work in terms of doing my music, actually speaking my truth, which I do here, using my voice. And I've had to really kind of clear like unconscious thoughts of like, I'm not good enough, or who wants to hear me anyways, or I have really nothing to say, all these things which are not true. But as we grow up as little kids, we take on and we believe these messages that are sometimes not true, right? So I always got the message of I wasn't good enough, and I had some controlling people in my life. And so I always was basically mute. In other words, like, it wasn't really, I didn't really have an opinion on things. I basically had to follow the bigger people in my life, or else, I would, would it was just kind of unconditional. It was not unconditional love, is what I'm trying to get at. It was conditional. It was a conditional thing. Like, if you're this way, then I'm going to be nice to you, or you're not going to get punished, or whatever. And so I grew up with that message of I wasn't good enough, like I didn't really have a voice. So a lot of times I was just scared to speak up, and scared to talk my truth. And you guys, it's taken me years to be able to sit here and do things like this show solo. This has taken me years to be able to do my music, to be able to actually sing on a stage. I mean, honestly, if you ever would ever talk to a friend, like a high school friend, that knew me, like, that wasn't me. Like, and I still like can get into like a very shy mode, like where I don't want to talk, or I just want to be alone. I grew up as an only child too. So that kind of compounded on the fact that I didn't have to talk, right? So I didn't have siblings to like fight with, or like work out the emotions with. It was just all on me. And my dad left our household when I was 5, and I grew up with my mom, single mom. So it was just like she worked. So I was always by myself, and I had to kind of use my imagination to play. And, but I think that just really made me go, just be shy and be really inward. And like, I was the kid that knew the answer in class, but didn't raise their hand. So anyways, I'm kind of going on a tangent, but my point is that it's taken me a long time and a lot of inner work to be able to do those things that I just talked about. Speak my truth, speak here with you guys, have my own show, write my book, sing on stage. And those are all things that I had in my heart, and if I didn't find the outlet to bring those out, honestly, I don't know if I would have ever done these things or accomplished them. Like, I really had to find a mentor, and I had to find a practice called BEST, bioenergetic synchronization technique, that's really helped me to heal a lot of my traumas, a lot of my wounds, and really bring out the side of me that you are experiencing today. And now I'm excited because I've learned all these techniques and tools, and I get to share them with you, my audience, and whoever's listening. And something else that's new that I'll share with you guys is that I just launched my coaching website. So it's now up and live. And now I feel like it's a good time for me to, like I just said, share what I know. And getting into this coaching space has been something that's kind of been in the works for a long, long time. So anyways, and I'll share that with the story on that too. But my website's jennalobos.com for anybody that's listening and is interested in holistic practices and spiritual guidance and just coaching, one-on-one coaching, so we can get to some deep stuff. Like what I'm saying is, if there's anything in your heart that you want to accomplish and you feel like you keep getting stuck, or you keep attracting the same relationship or the same job or whatever, you can look at jennalobos.com and hopefully talk to me at some point. But anyways, so so in 2019, I also did a life coaching program and got certified as a life coach. So that was happening in 2019. And then my book came out in 2020. So I'm just saying this like as a timeline, you guys, because just to kind of give you perspective and context around how long it's taken me to actually really own like my voice and my gifts and what I've learned. And now I'm able to share. And so I say that because if you have something in your heart that you want to do, that's important to you, and maybe you've been shunned, you've been told that you can't do it, or maybe you're telling yourself that you can't do it, or you're picking on yourself, or you're just like putting yourself down, or whatever the internal noise is, work on it, because it doesn't happen overnight. All these things that we've been conditioned with, and social media doesn't help either. I feel like people are comparing themselves now. It's saturated. Everybody, wants to be seen and heard, which is is great, but it's hard not to like compare yourself or tell yourself like you don't deserve whatever you're seeing on social media or whatever the story is. So anyways, yeah. So I guess my point is that listen to your heart of hearts, go after what you want, because getting back to what the beginning of this conversation was about was, you lose a family member, or in my case, I've lost two now, which are, part of my family, like my immediate family. And it just really, again, puts things in perspective, and we just don't know. We don't know how long we have here, And so I feel like, do what you want, do what you're passionate about. So I feel like, again, the inner work is important, but today I'm going to talk about some practical tips that I feel are also important to keep your spirits up, to keep your body healthy, and to keep your soul alive. And so I titled this show Holistic Health, and I wanted to give you kind of a backstory on the holistic health, right? So it's not just one thing, it's the whole of everything. So what I did was I actually looked up the definition of holistic health, and I wanted to read the definition to you guys, okay? So holistic health is an approach to well-being that considers the interconnectedness of all aspects of a person's life, including their physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual health. It emphasizes treating the whole person rather than just the symptoms of an illness. So, in other words, it's the whole of who you are. You got to take care of all of you. Your physical, your mental, your spiritual, it's all, we are totality of health. And a lot of times, and I'm not like against doctors or anything, but a lot of times you go to the doctor and they want to treat you for the one thing, and they want to give you a pill to get rid of the one thing, but maybe the one thing is connected to your inner child who was hurt at 5. you know so in other words, like, you could have tummy aches that won't go away, and so you go to the doctor and they want to give you a pill, but the tummy aches are actually from an emotional wound that you had at 5 because of whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm getting to. That's where I'm getting at. So, and if anybody's listening, I welcome questions too while I'm talking here. But so today I want to give you guys some practical lifestyle tips, I guess, for holistic health. And so we're going to get into that. And these are tips that I basically have been doing for years. And one of them actually is morning pages. And you guys, I don't know. So what morning pages is, it's journaling. Okay. So it's getting up in the morning, whatever, brush your teeth, drink water, whatever, but then find yourself a good, like, calm, peaceful place where you can write 3 pages of unedited words. And it's basically without stopping. So it's 3 pages of just journaling your stream of consciousness, basically. And you're not supposed to like stop the writing. Even if like you have nothing to say, you can say, like, you can write, I have nothing to say right now, I don't know what to write, and just keep going. And basically it's from a book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, I believe is the author of that book. And she recommends this obviously for artists, but I feel like it's helpful just to kind of like dump your thoughts on the page. And honestly, by the 3rd page, I always have like an aha moment, or I have like an intuitive kind of action that I need to take in regards to my business, or like a thought that comes to my mind that I want to write a blog on. Or for me, sometimes it's just like a poem that comes out that eventually is a song. So I started morning pages. It's been years, like 2011, 2010. And I've have tons of journals, you guys. Like I'm always like throwing away these books, or I keep them and they just pile up. But I have like tons of writings. And I don't know why, for some reason, I like stop at like stages, where I just don't do it. I get lazy, or it just in my mind, it just doesn't fit in my morning schedule, So I stop. And recently, I was talking to somebody else and they told me, you should start journaling. And I thought of my morning pages and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't done that. And now in like a couple months, And so that's one of my tips for you guys today is this morning pages, because sometimes, like, if you don't have like a mentor to talk to, or like a trusted friend, or something that you just don't even want to share like with anybody, you can share it with yourself. You can go and you can write this journal entry. And it just feels so good to like get it on paper and get it out of your body, especially if you're mad or you're angry and you want to tell somebody off and you don't want to actually go to them and tell them off. You can write it in your journal and get it out of your body. So Tessa asked, do you think journaling is a good thing for anyone? Do you think journaling is a good thing for anyone? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like I just said, it really is a mind dump, and you just can get all of your emotions and your thoughts out on the paper. And I'm telling you, by the third page, you just feel so light, and it's like, it's like kind of a little bit of a mind massage, like just letting it all out. And you might have an inspiration at the end of the third page, or like I talked about, maybe there's something that you really want to do that's in your heart that you haven't allowed yourself to do, and maybe you discover that on the page. But listen, I'm a writer, you guys, so I'm into this stuff. I love a blank page because I feel like I can just create. But this is something a little different where you don't have to edit yourself. You don't have to be proper or whatever the thing is. You can just be yourself on the paper and write. So, highly recommend. Let me know if you try it. I want to know. I want you guys to report back and let me know how you feel. Oh, and also, I just thought of this. On my new website, jennalobos.com, I have 21 journaling prompts, and they're free. They're actually free. You can go on and just sign up, and you'll get a download of 21 different journaling prompts. So, like, let's say you feel a little bit like nervous to go and like write your own thoughts. I give you 21 like questions to dive deeper into, just give you an idea of what you want to talk about. And so that might be helpful for any of you that are listening that want to like write, but you don't know what to write about. These prompts will give you some ideas. So FYI, check them out. So that's one thing that I just added back into my morning routine, and I feel it's really helpful. Another thing that is helpful for like holistic health, I feel, is to find some alone time. And that could be 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour's great. But like if you have kids or you are married or you are just in a household filled with people, I feel like it's really important to find some alone time for yourself. Whether that's like, making a nice bubble bath at night or creating something in your room where it's like your sacred space, or if you have the room, make an extra room where you feel there's sacred space for you. Just create something in your day that gives you some alone time with your thoughts. Again, I feel like it's just bringing your thoughts back to you, figuring out what you want. Ask yourself the question, are you happy with your life? Is there anything that you want to change? Is there anything that you want to experience? What do you want to do? Time is precious, you guys. So we got to really take care of ourselves and dive deep and find some alone time, so that's really important. My other little tip is, and this might sound basic and simple, but I always start my day with lemon and water, hot water and lemon. And it's really not really about, it is kind of about the lemon and water because it gives you vitamin C. It's very hydrating. You fast all night and then you get up and it's like a ritual, right? So it's like, I feel like rituals are really important to keep ourselves on track, like start your day, look forward to something that look forward to, like a morning. And I always look forward to my lemon and water, my hot lemon and water. I know that's coming in the morning when I get up and I go down and I make my hot water with lemon. It hydrates you, gives you vitamin C. It's something warm and soothing. And then have like your coffee, right? You don't have to like go straight into the coffee, which honestly, you guys, physically, it's better anyways to start hydrating first before you get into the coffee, or the tea, or even like your food. So anyways, small tip, but I think that's like, I don't know, helpful. Um, okay. My next one is breath work. Actually, let me take a little sip of this is green tea. I make this after I have my hot water and lemon. Today I made a matcha. Um, Sometimes I do my butter coffee, which I've talked about, but today I did like a green tea matcha, which is awesome, amazing. I need to actually make a reel for Instagram to show my matcha. It's so good. I had a friend come over recently and I told her, I'm like, I made some matcha. She's like, oh, she didn't really like matcha. Right. But then she tried mine. She's like, oh my God, this is the best I've had. And so I actually make my own almond milk where I soak the almonds overnight and then I blend them in the morning with water. I actually soak them, I drain them, and I blend them with water and I make my own like homemade almond milk. And I feel like that makes a difference with matcha. So, anyways, excuse me really quick. I'm gonna take a sip. Oh my God, so good. Yeah. So the next tip is breath work. And breathing, you guys, is so important, right? I mean, once we take our last breath, that's it, right? So conscious breathing exercises to bring ourselves to present moment, to relax our bodies, to be out of the fight or flight mode. If you're going and going and going, your nervous system is always, you know, in that kind of rapid speed. It's not that good because your mind then gets super wrapped up in that. And so it's really hard to come down at night. If you drink wine to come down, maybe try breath work. I was going to share one specific exercise as far as breath work is concerned. It's called heart coherent breath. And so basically you take a breath from your heart and then you imagine the breath going out to all around your body, like in every direction. So out at the bottom of your feet, out the top of your head, the sides of your body, the back. And then you bring in the breath from all of those areas back to your heart, and then you breathe out. It's kind of like a jellyfish, kind of like just to give like some visual. It's like a jellyfish breath. In from your heart, out, back in, out. It's super relaxing. It just calms your body. And I feel like that's part of holistic health, is just to be calm and present with you, with yourself, and with everybody else around you. Because I feel like for me, when I'm present, I'm more calm and I'm able to handle the emotions, the big life things that come up. Life throws us stuff, and we have to have these tools to really stay on track, stay on track with keeping ourselves calm internally. And I know for me, if I didn't have these tools and this like morning routine and stuff, I wouldn't really be able to have my coaching business, be present with clients. So all these tips, you guys, I hope they're helping. Again, I encourage questions, feedback. But yeah, so that's my fourth tip, is breath work. And I shared the heart coherent breath. My fifth tip is move your body. Of course. I'm going to say that. Make time for exercise, walk, Pilates, yoga, dance. I've had a lot going on, as I've shared, and haven't been able to, on the days that I am not able to go to yoga class, I literally put on my headset, like my music, and I just dance in my room, or I just move, I just walk, walk to go take the trash out, I don't know, maybe stretch before bed, just move your body. And the more you move your body, the more connected you are to your thoughts, to your mind. Yeah, anything you can do to move your body is really good. Surround yourself with good people. This is like ultimate, like numero uno for me. I have experienced both, where I know I'm not surrounded by the best people and it affects your health. 100% affects your health, who you surround yourself with, what shows you're listening to, what music you're listening to, what social media you're watching. But the people that you interact with daily, you guys, so important that you enjoy them a little bit, if it's not 100%, it has to be, you have to find something that you enjoy in your surroundings, is what I'm trying to say. And the people that you surround yourself with, we pick up on people's energy. Just even if you're unconscious of that, you do. You start talking like other people, you start acting, you start thinking like other people. It's really hard to keep your own identity if you're with like a toxic person or you're around people that are negative. Change your surroundings. Or if you can't, if it's at the workplace, then do these other tips when you're not at the workplace. But I encourage you to surround yourself with positive people, with good people, people that you enjoy. Ask yourself how you feel when you're around a certain person. It's really important. Ask yourself how you feel. Ask yourself how you feel when that person leaves you and you're just stuck with that conversation that you just had. How does that make you feel? Happy? Like, do you feel alive? Do you feel drained? Do you feel like balanced, like calm? Like, oh, that person gave to me just as much as I gave to them, kind of thing. Then like that's a good exchange, right? Because that's how it's supposed to be with people. It's supposed to be a good exchange. It's supposed to be respectful. It's supposed to be intimate and honored, It starts with you, obviously. That's where I'm getting at, to be intimate with yourself. These tips are creating that intimacy with yourself, the alone time, the morning pages, the journaling, the morning routine. Oh, I just want to have my lemon and water. All these things are getting yourself into this sacred time with you. And then you're going to attract that good person in your life. And so take note, take inventory, because that's really important for holistic health, is surrounding yourself with good people. So Bally asked, do we need to take a breathing class or just sit with thinking and maintaining breathing? Oh my gosh, Bally, if you could take a breathing class, that would be the ultimate. I don't know where you're at as far as location, but I'm in Orange County and I know they have some around me and I know they have some in LA. But if you could take a breathwork class, that would be amazing. That's actually a really good idea. I should probably teach a breathwork class. But yeah, you can do both. You can do both, but if you can get to a class, that would be really awesome. And again, report back. I want to know. I've heard about breathwork classes and I've heard that they're very like cleansing and people can get like a lot of emotions might come up in like a breathwork class because you are sitting there with yourself. And again, we don't give ourselves enough alone time. So then when we do find ourselves alone in a breathwork class, it's almost like all these emotions come up, right? Because we haven't like dealt with them, because life is busy, you guys. Life is busy. I mean, even just like going to the grocery store, keeping up, taking the trash out, doing the dishes. I don't know if you guys are single or alone or whatnot, but I know for me, I'm single, I'm alone, I'm doing a podcast, I'm building my business. I love my music, I have a social life. So all these things, life is busy. So that's why I feel it's important to give yourself all this space and these tips that I'm sharing. So yeah, go to a breathwork class. That'd be awesome. Okay, so surround yourself with good people was the 6th tip. And my next tip is trust your gut. Trust your gut. Are you connected enough to your body to be able to trust yourself with little decisions, even, right? Little decisions, should I do this? Should I do that? Are you able to really trust your body? Are you connected with your body enough to trust your gut? Or do you override your gut? At times, maybe you have. Maybe you knew in your gut something was wrong, but you went for it anyways, or you just overrode it, which is fine. I've done that so many times, you guys, so many times. And I'm always, at the end of the day, when things don't go right, because I didn't trust my gut, I only have myself to blame, right? I only can be like, look at myself and be like, I knew it. I knew it. I didn't trust my gut. I think it's super important to check in, have these practices, because once you do implement some of these practices, your gut will become stronger. Your intuition will become stronger. And that's the name of the game, is to trust yourself. Because at the end of the day, we really only have us. So we have to treat ourselves good. We have to be loving. We have to be able to trust our gut. And it goes hand in hand with boundaries, right? To be able to set a boundary and not go back on it, to, and also, don't take things personal, right? I think it's one of the 4 agreements in the book. There's another book called The 4 Agreements, and he talks about not taking things personal. So that goes for ourselves too, right? Like, if you didn't trust your gut one time and you pay for it for whatever reason, don't take it personal, even for yourself. Like, okay, I learned, and now I'm not going to do that again, and move on, right? So anyways, yeah, trust your gut. That was my 7th one. And then number 8 is have patience. Have patience with yourself, with other people, with what you do want to accomplish in life. Have patience for the days where you feel off, where maybe you didn't move your body, or you didn't eat healthy, or whatever the thing is. Or have patience in building something that you want, or creating something that's in your heart of hearts. Have patience with yourself. I think that that's also the theme of this year, is to have patience in what's happening, because I think globally and energetically, what's really happening, that's why we see so many changes in the world right now, you guys, is that people are having to learn the lesson of living from the heart and not the head. And that's why I feel like I'm always talking about it. Number one, because I have to remind myself not to live from my head, not to live from the stories and the mind and the overthinking mind. I'm always overthinking. And I really had to teach myself to come back to my heart, to come back to my body, come back to my gut, and live my life from that place. Not to people please, to do things that I know are right for me. And it's taken me a long time, and I still need other people, my people that I know that I can trust, to surround myself with those people, to really remind myself, all the time. And maybe write sticky notes on your mirror, maybe a good affirmation. Today, I only talk good thoughts to myself. Today, I'm loving and kind to myself. Today, I have my lemon and water, whatever it is, make a really nice affirmation for yourself. Today I'm happy. Today I forgive whoever that person is, or today I forgive the fact that I need to go to this job that I don't like. Today I will find another job that I love. Whatever the thing is, you guys, make a note, put a sticky on your mirror, and remind yourself that you're alive. Today's another day. I just gave you some good 8 tips to just, again, come back to yourself, be intimate with yourself, be loving and kind with yourself. And that's holistic health. It's actually part of it. It's not all of it. Again, it's part of it. It's holistic health, again, is the totality of who we are mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. So these are just some tips that will help you get there. And Samantha asked, how can we know what is going to be best for ourselves? Could you do a show on getting to know ourselves better and how to do it? How can we know what is going to be best for ourselves? Could you do a show on getting to know ourselves better and how to do it? Honestly, Samantha, I encourage you to hop on a 20-minute free call with me. Go to my website, jennalobos.com, because I feel like, I'm going to answer your question. I feel like this is really a one-on-one kind of conversation, because you ask, how can we know what is going to be best for ourselves? And if I'm talking to an audience, that's really hard for me to answer that question, because everybody is different. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know what's best for me, and honestly, I don't even know what kind of context you're talking about. Like, are you talking in terms of like relationships, or like job, or food, or exercise? There's just so many different things that could be best for ourselves. I feel like this is a very one-on-one kind of conversation. So I'm happy to talk to you offline. I am offering free 20-minute conversations with me to see if a coaching session would be good for you. And then you asked, could you do a show on getting to know ourselves better and how to do it? I feel like that's what I'm offering now. I feel like, again, as like a group, collective kind of conversation, which is what I need to speak into. I feel like I'm giving you a little bit of tips today on how to get to know yourselves better. The number one tip that I talked about was the morning pages. And Samantha, if you could just do that one thing, if you don't want to get on the call with me offline, if you can just do the one thing that I mentioned in the beginning, which was the morning pages, you will get to know yourself better. And you will also know what is going to be good for you individually. You just have to trust it. You have to trust that when you're writing to yourself, you can ask that question, whatever it is. How do I know what's best for me? And then you just write. Stream of consciousness. What I mean by stream of consciousness is you let your thoughts flow. You don't edit yourself. You're talking to yourself. It's almost like you're talking in the mirror to yourself, which you can do that too. You can actually go into the mirror and talk to yourself and ask the question, what is good for me? And because at the end of the day, you guys, we have it inside of us. We do. We have the answers. I myself work with my own coach. I feel like it's easier if we do have support. That's why obviously I'm here today. and I'm offering support to you guys. I'm offering tips. I'm sharing what I do because I feel like it's easier for our hands to be held, right? It's easier for us to be cradled and taken care of in certain ways. We're human. We all need each other in some way, you know. So if it's not me, find yourself another person, another coach to really dive deep into these questions. That's what my coaching program is all about, are these deeper questions. Samantha, you can also get on my website and get the 21 journaling prompts like I mentioned. I asked some deeper questions that might get you to the answers that you're asking me now. So yeah. Exciting stuff, you guys. I know I got deep today with sharing a little bit of a heavy story in the beginning, but I hope this helps. I just feel like at the end of the day, it's about loving yourself and getting intimate with yourself and asking these deeper questions. And I'm happy to help whoever wants to reach out to me, jennalobos.com. And again, you can get my 21-day or my 21 journaling prompts for free. And I hope you guys got something out of today's show. And until next time, love your body and love your life. Take care. Bye.